Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and who fancies a trip to the year 2026? Can't be any worse than 2020, right? Well, with the new football manager hitting the shelves, I'm bringing back an old classic and going 5 years, or 5.5 in this instance, years into the future and see what the biggest clubs in the world are looking like. And to kick us off, I'm going to start with the Premier League champions Liverpool. So here we go, this is Liverpool in 2026 according to Football Manager 2021. But before we start, I've got a cheeky plug. If you're a Liverpool fan, make sure you check out one of our sister channels, Rousing the Cop. They've got some great stuff up there, including loads of exclusives with Premier League legend Emile Heskey. I'll pop a link in the description below, but make sure you check them out after this. Right, long story short, Liverpool are still absolutely class, and that's because Jurgen Klopp's still the boss. The German's been in charge for more than a decade now, and it doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon. Trophies have been on the agenda every season except for 2023 weirdly, but their Premier League dominance is over. Liverpool won a hat-trick of Premier League titles, but since lifting it in 2022, they haven't been top of the pile since. However, they've just secured a hat-trick of Champions Leagues, meaning they are now 9-time European champions. On top of that, they won the 2022 FA Cup, the first of Klopp's tenure, and the reserves have even picked up 4 Papa John's trophies. It might not be a trophy actually, maybe you win like a year's supply of Papa John's pizza. Christ, that would be a dream. In the 25-26 season, the Reds came third for the second season in a row, but they would actually end the campaign with the Champions League final. Liverpool beat Barcelona 1-0 in the final at the Stade de France, so let's have a look at the starting 11 and see who else is in the squad. In goal was Alisson. No surprises here as Alisson is still Liverpool's number 1 in 2026, celebrating 8 years in between the Anfield sticks. Aged just 33, still got some of his best years ahead of him too, so he'll definitely get himself a testimonial. And it's clear he deserves it, as the Brazilian's been a picture of consistency throughout the entire simulation. Every year he gets at least 20 clean sheets, and his position has never been under threat. The current backup was Wilkie Farinez, who has actually been really good whenever he's played, so at least Liverpool got over the Adrian debacle. Right back was Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've got another familiar face at right back, as local hero Trent Alexander-Arnold is still a Liverpool player and he's now the captain, despite Jordan Henderson still kicking about. However, he's still donning the number 66, so at least he hasn't forgotten his academy roots. Just like Alisson, Trent's been sensational, even if he isn't getting the double figures and assists that he does in reality, but that never happens on FM, does it? At the age of 27, it looks like the transition to centre midfield still hasn't happened, which is good, because he might as well just keep being really good on the right side of the defence, and there's no one better, is there? Centre back was Ibanez. We've got our first new signing, and a man who struggled in the Champions League final, picking up a booty and getting a score of 6.6 out of 10. It didn't matter though, and Ibanez has still been impressive for Liverpool, a solid if unspectacular defender who just gets the job done. He might not be first choice for long though, with Liverpool signing Presnel Kimpembe back in January of 2026. However, there's no Joe Gomez anymore, with poor performances linked to a rather bargain move of £31 million to Barcelona. Next up we've got Virgil van Dijk. Shock. In 2026, Virgil van Dijk is still an absolute Rolls Royce of a defender. I could have gotten like 2070 to still be patrolling the Reds' defence with ease on a Zimmer frame. The big Dutchman is still one of Liverpool's best players and continues to dominate the back line, although his minutes have decreased over the past season, so maybe I was being premature. Maybe the end is in sight for Virgil van Dijk. Left back was Nuno Mendes. Okay, so there's been a big change on the left of defence, as Andy Robertson is no more. I mean, he's still alive. The Super Scott's been binned out of the team and is now just sitting on the transfer list with an asking price of just £10 million. It actually looks like Robertson hasn't been first choice for most of the simulation, with Klopp instead opting for Nuno Mendes. The £50 million arrival has been good enough to keep Robbo out of the team, but I don't know, the combo of Mendes and Trent just can't be as prolific as Robbo and Trent. It would be like replacing one of Ant and Deck with some young Portuguese upstart from their equivalent of Biker Grove. I'm not sure if that even exists, let me know in the comments if you know. Holding midfield is Federico Valverde. While the back line hasn't changed too much, Liverpool got a completely new look midfield. We start with Federico Valverde, who was settled into the Fabinho role after he was sold to a Premier League rival, but we'll come to that in another video. Valverde was an expensive signing at £91 million, but to be honest, his average rating suggests that maybe he isn't living up to the price. I mean, he has been good, but for £91 million I'd want someone more than just an average of 7.01. In the middle we've got Sandro Tonali. Next up we've got Football Manager Royalty, another expensive addition to Jurgen Klopp's midfield. Sandro Tonali was a little cheaper than Valverde at 85 million, but again I don't think he's quite living up to the hype. Like Valverde, he's still doing okay, but he's not getting anywhere near the creative numbers he was hitting at AC Milan. But whatever, I'm sure he'll get better, at least he's not the next Alberto Aquilani. That deal will probably put Liverpool off Italian midfielders for life. Next up is Ilej Mariba. If you thought Tonali and Valverde were expensive, then hold on to your hats because Elecspo is now Liverpool's record signing. The young Spaniard cost a ridiculous £100 million from Barcelona, and I'll be honest, he's shown already that he's worthy of that monstrous fee. While Tonali and Valverde have been average, Moriba is already a star after 1 year at Anfield, netting 13 goals and getting 11 Premier League assists in his debut season. And to top it all off, he bagged the winner in the Champions League final against his former club. On the right wing is Mohamed Salah. We're back to another player who's still at Liverpool in the year 2026, and I'm actually surprised to see that Salah hasn't moved on. I think he will in reality, but on FM Salah is still the Egyptian king on Liverpool's right, and at 33 is still an elite player. Every year he's hitting double figures, and it doesn't look like there's anyone in Klopp's squad primed to take his place. On the left we are João Felix. Okay, so there's been a change to Liverpool's legendary front three, with João Felix arrival throwing a spanner in the works. It's Sadio Mane who he's replaced, with the Reds number 10 now just listed as an impact sub. Imagine having Sadio Mane, the club's highest earner, as an impact sub. He might be back in the team soon enough though, as João Felix is a target for Barcelona. Felix cost the Reds £97 million and has just enjoyed his best season to date. And up front was Roberto Firmino. 5 and a bit years on, and Bobby Firmino is still leading the line for Liverpool, despite no doubt enduring years of pelters from opposition fans because of his lack of goals. He's actually just had his worst season ever in a Liverpool shirt, with only 4 Premier League goals to his name. But he's seen off the challenge of Diogo Jota, who's now left, and by the looks of things, he's got no other competition up top. He's just there, on his own, pulling off ludicrous flicks and tricks before blazing a shot high into the cop end. So there we have it, that's Liverpool in 2026 according to Football Manager 2021. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time, we will see you around.